All right, you guys, so we're doing this virtual. So this group unit is all about the cold calling basics. I've made tens, if not hundreds of thousands of calls in the last 8 years. My team and I has closed over 7,000 transactions completely virtual. So this is crucial and vital to your success. When it comes to cold calling and prospecting leads and things like that, there's a few things that you need to know. One, you better be prepared. So I always make sure that I'm standing up, I'm speaking from my diaphragm, I've got a pen and paper handy. I like Post-it notes if you could only see my desk right now. And I'm consciously aware of where I'm at. So I'm not distracted, I don't have a bunch of things going on, but I'm consciously aware, this is my lead, this is my opportunity. Number one, you need to get your mind right. So if you have affirmations that you say in the morning, you should probably have some affirmations before you get on the call. I have affirmations that I use every single time. Right before I jump on the phone and start my calling period, I say my pre-call affirmations. And I suggest that you do the same. Write them out. Like, I'm a superhero and I can solve their needs. These people need my help, whether they know it or not, right? Like when I put this hat on, I become Coach Sharpen and they need my help. Whatever that looks like for you, write out 4 or 5 affirmations that give you the confidence to know that you are the trusted authority and you have the best source of information to get these things across the finish line. Just that alone will change the dynamics of the rest of your calling period. Number 2, notice I keep mentioning calling period. I highly recommend you getting structured and organized to really block out time so that you are making a conscious and 100% integral effort to making your call. So what does that look like? Well, maybe you do all of your prospecting in the morning and afternoon. So I would say like 10 to noon and 3 to 5, right? Block it out no matter what happens, unless the house is on fire. From 10 to noon, you're prospecting new leads. From 3 to 5, you're prospecting new leads. And then have a systematic follow-up process. And I'm going to talk about my follow-up process. I'm not going to go into a lot of details, but you'll see that in the next unit. Meanwhile, so you've got time blocked, you've got your mind right, stay laser focused. People call you while you're calling out, just clear it. When you get done with your calling period, then you can return those phone calls. Then you can answer those phone calls, right? But while you're cold calling and while you're prospecting, stay laser focused and get the job at hand finished. Number 3, and probably one of the most important things that you can do while cold calling, listen. Listen intentionally. Say it with me. Listen, right? If the more you hear, the more you can say against the other person. So if it's uber quiet, I always say things like, man, it's awfully quiet over there. You must be working from home today. Or it's awfully quiet over there. You must be at an office. Or, wow, it's really loud. You must be out driving around. Listening to where they're at and listening to what they say when they're not saying anything at all. So maybe there's like a huff, disgusted sound that they make when you first start talking to them. Gosh, it sounds like you're busy. Did I catch you at a bad time? And that is my 4th and 5th final tip, kind of merged together. Never ask them if it's a good time. It's always a bad time. Ask them, did I catch you at a bad time? Because people don't like to disappoint people. And so when you ask them if it's a bad time, 9 out of 10 times, no, I got a minute. No, go ahead, right? And second to that is never apologize. You don't know how many times I've heard people and other coaches in our industry start their pitch with saying this, hey, I'm sorry to bother you. No, you're not. That's bullshit, and you're not sorry either. You called them because you have a motive. Don't apologize for getting your money. And last but surely not least, when it comes to cold calling, be consistent. Follow a script, trust the process. Here's the deal. At the end of the day, the client on the other end of the phone is gonna hear whatever you have to say for the very first time. You may say something 1,000 times, but it's the first time that they've ever heard it. So if you're following and trusting a process, Why deviate from something that's already made somebody else successful? All right, guys, I hope that helps you with your cold calling. Get started, go to the next unit, and I'll tell you all about my follow-up process.